is your name, sir?
Aaron Terene.
Aaron Trevine is 21379. Okay, you've finished up your community service. You've been making payments on your funds, and I guess there was some restitution in this too. Do you have a payment today?
Yes, sir.
How much are you going to pay today?
400.
Okay, it's a good, healthy payment. I'll set your next review for March 27th. (9 a.m.) See the clerk.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, the rest of the people that were called will get warrants for failure to appear.
Tina Creekmore, Bryson McMillan, Gary Munyon, Nicholas Ranko Jr., William Richardson.
Tiana Creekmore, it's 2015-34. Finished the dip school in November. You did make payment recently.
And I got like 9 hours left on my community service.
Okay, you got some that you just turned in.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it is accepted.
And I plan on paying, my taxes should be getting back, and I plan on just going ahead and paying my fine off with that.
Okay. I'll set your next hearing for March the 13th. If
All
you
right.
finish it up, you don't have to come back.
So if I finish up the community service and then pay my fine off, I don't have to come back for that?
Yes, that's
Alrighty.
correct. That's all you got left.
Yep.
Bryce McMillan. 19,957. 19,944. 19,114. 18,1310. Okay, you got a new job?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I started down to Lawrence County CAO building. Today was my first day, and I left there a little bit ago to come here.
Okay. Well, we'll try to get you back to work here quick.
I have a payment today on my fines also,
How much are you paying?
30.
All right, see the clerk, congratulations on the new job. You got a good report on your counseling. Keep that up. And I'm going to set you for March the 13th also. March 13th will be the next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. See the clerk. Gary Munyon, 21,183. Is that home, Lawrence County Recovery? Okay, it's good report, good test scores.
Your Honor, if I may, I had a note that he was supposed to have some community service done by this time. He came in and talked to me this morning, and he went to our municipal court, and they said they needed a letter showing how many hours he could do. and how much his fines was, how much he could work off. So me and Mr. Major made him a letter, so he's gonna try to do it now in municipal court.
All right, so we'll have something to show for it the next time you come back, right?
Yes, I had $30 to pay my bond today.
Okay, make that payment at the clerk's office. March 13 will be your next hearing, 9 o'clock. Nicholas Ranko, 21116. You just owe $75, Mr. Ranko. When can you pay that?
Next month, Your Honor. I'm trying to do my best.
Okay, March the 6th will be your next hearing. If you pay it off, you don't have to come back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. William Richardson was called for, has not appeared, so get some more.
Stephanie Romans, Freddie Sloan, George R. Stanley, Gregory S. Webb, Veronica Wise, Gregory Carlton.
Stephanie Roman,
Yes.
171080, 173010. You have a payment today on your funds,
No, I don't.
and you have community service to do too.
Yes.
Your Honor, she has done 1 day since the last hearing.
Okay, your next hearing will be March 6th. March 6th.
Thank you.
Freddie Sloan is 181253.
Yes, sir.
You've got community service and most of your fines paid, but you still have $50 left.
I'm gonna pay 50 today. And if I could just get one more, court date to get my community service done. Actually, I won't even have to come to court, will I, if I get my community service done?
Correct. Okay, I'll set you for March the 20th. Get it done by then, you don't have to be here. See the clerk to make the payment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. George Stanley. 16-7. 164155 and 1421. Okay, community service is all done, but you have some fines still left to pay. You have a payment today, sir?
Yeah,
How much are you paying?
100.
Okay, see the clerk to make your payment. And I'll set March 20th as your next hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Greg Webb is here.
Yes, sir. Gregory Webb, 05775. You have a payment today, Mr. Rhodes? I only have $15, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll take it.
Thank you.
March 6th is your next hearing,
Thank you, Bill.
9 o'clock. Gregory Carlton,
Yes, sir.
211657. You have finished your bid school. You still have 2 days of community service left.
Yes, sir.
You have a payment on your fines.
Yeah, I got 100 today.
How much?
100?
100. And are you still working on the barges?
Yeah, I leave again Friday, and it might be at least a month before I come back.
So if I could get it set,
How about, so a month would be March the 6th, what if we made it March the 20th?
that'll work, Your Honor.
March 20th will be your next hearing. If you get this 2 days and the rest of your fines paid off, you don't have to come back.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Veronica Wise was called for, did not appear, gets a warrant. All right, we have one arraignment, so I'll just give that person their rights when they're called up.
State of Ohio versus Tanya R. Gentry, case number CRB 2374.
Tanya Gentry,
Did not check in, Your Honor.
okay, she was actually cited into court on January 30th, called that day and said she had COVID, and she was told she could get a continuance till today at 9 a.m. She's still not appeared, so there'll be a warrant issued for failure to appear.
State of Ohio versus Stephen L. Murphy, TRC 2270, A, B, C, D, and E. Stephen Murphy.
Stephen Murphy,
They just told me he was here.
Stephen Murphy, would you call for him out in the lobby?
Yes, Your Honor.
Stephen Murphy?
His case number is 220070. It's a review hearing today. Right, Mr. Murphy's turned in some community service, so Mr. Cooper will check out. Do you have a payment on your fines today, sir?
Not at the moment, Your Honor. I'm still working community service today.
Yeah, I'll cancel the warrant. You had been called earlier.
Yes, Your Honor. Apologize.
And I'll set your next hearing for March the 6th,
Yes, sir.
9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Okay, that finishes the arraignments that we have here. We'll go ahead and start the pre-trials with the lawyers and the prosecutor.
State of Ohio versus Leah Bledsoe, case number TRC 222185, A and B.
That's Mr. Gallar's case.
Judge, this is Ms. Bledsoe. My notes indicate that some time ago, back on December 5th, we actually entered a plea and stated on the record some reasons related to this case that we would be willing to treat it as a first offense for sentencing purposes if Ms. Bledsoe was successful in completing some alcohol treatment. She, I believe, has completed treatment. She's with Riverside. She indicates to me today that she's now been discharged successfully from their program. Is anybody here from Riverside?
Yes, she has. We give her a certificate, but yeah, she completed.
Can we get a copy? I don't have a copy of her completion certificate. I've got a report from Riverside for January, but nothing saying she's completed.
I believe the Riverside representative said he was trying to get.
Is that something you can furnish us with? Okay. Mr. Hill?
Well, Your Honor, we were in agreement with that, and if she's completed her treatment satisfactorily, then we would be willing to go along with that today.
So it'd be treated as a first offense, low test score? Or?
Yes, Your Honor, there was no O2 agreement on the test score that was administered in this case. That was one of the issues we discussed at the previous hearings. She also provided proof of insurance to the state at the previous hearing.
Okay. Well, one thing I want to make sure you understand, Ms. Bledsoe, is if I accept this arrangement and accept your plea, it's going to go on your record. And if you go to another jurisdiction and have an offense like this, which hopefully you won't, but if you did, that jurisdiction could treat it as a third offense, which really increases the possible penalties. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you're still willing to accept
Yes,
that
sir.
possible consequences?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you want to tell me before I conclude your sentencing? No? Anything else the state wants to say?
No, Your Honor.
Did she plead guilty or not?
Yes, she's pleading guilty.
Yes.
I'll impose a $600 fine where you pay court costs, 6-month license suspension, which started the day of the offense. So you're eligible to get your license back now. You'll have to do that through the DMV. 20 days in jail suspended, 5 days of community service, 2 years of level 4 probation. Is the state okay with waiving the driver intervention program since she's done other counseling?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so no DIP school required. You can put in her complete treatment at Riverside, which I think she has, but we'll need a certificate of completion. Her review hearing is going to be September the 8th. So that gives you all summer to get everything taken care of. If you finish everything before then and get the certificate in here, you don't have to appear. There was also a failure to control.
She did
It
her
was a
guilty.
single car crash.
It was, she hit a, yes, it was a single vehicle.
So it'd be a $20 fine on that. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, I wish so.
She's to see Mr. Major in the probation office before she leaves.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Courtney R. Hampton, case number CRB 22761.
Mr. DeWaters, case.
How do you want to proceed with this? Do you want to have another pretrial?
Well, I mean, I'd like to receive that video.
So, Your Honor, there's some discovery that I apparently have not given to the state of Ohio. There's a video related to this incident that I'm in possession of that the state doesn't have. I told Mr. Heald, I think on a previous date that I had that, and I think I was supposed to give it to him, and maybe I did not give it to him because he doesn't have it. So I will, though, give that to him. I think that he would like to review that before making a decision about how to proceed, and that's fine with me, if that's okay with the court.
Okay, when would you like to come back?
Do you have any preference on dates? Maybe about, can I grab my schedule, Judge?
Sure.
Is that
It's fine.
a good day?
February 27th. February 27th will be the next hearing for pre-trial, 10 o'clock.
Thanks, Judge.
State of Ohio versus Melissa D. Mosier, case number CRB 2341, and a companion case, State of Ohio versus Sherry Stidham, CRB 2339.
Ms. Stidham is represented by Mr. Steyer, Ms. Mosier by Mr. DeWine.
I found it just right.
We've got an order. I've got the order for you. This signed by Mr. Waters. Dismiss the charge. And he's going to sign by me. He's like, you want to dismiss the charge? I'm going to give this to the prosecutor. I get this signed. Hang on just a second.
Judge, these are cross filings. This is a stepmother and stepdaughter incident that allegedly occurred. Both these parties, though, would like for their cases to be mutually dismissed. I believe that they anticipate no further issues. I think this was an isolated incident. In any event, we've prepared, I've prepared on behalf of Ms. Mosier a proposed motion from the state of Ohio to entry nolling her case, and I've got another one that Mr. Steyer has prepared on behalf of Ms. Stidham. Can I approach with that?
Yes. And so everybody's in agreement, state of Ohio, both defendants, that the cases should be dismissed?
Normally, Your Honor, we would want a period of time to ensure that there's not going to be any further problems, but this is kind of an unusual circumstance with the relationship between these two ladies, and they're both fully mature adults. And so we are willing to go ahead and go along with the dismissal as long as both of them are in agreement with that today.
Okay, that's what everybody wants me to do.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your entries are approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, you're free to go. The case is dismissed.
Hang on.
I see.
No, you don't want to. If you want to wait around, you can copy this later. Good stuff.
It'll be sent to you maybe?
No, but
I don't.
okay. All right. Thank you.
State of Ohio versus John A. Suter, case number CRA 2383 A and B, CRB 2384, and TRC 23105.
The Waters case.
Yeah, you know, appreciate you being on Friday.
Judge, this is one you scheduled real quick. We were here on Friday on this case just to see if Mr. Suter was able to make bond. They did get him fitted with an ankle monitor, and he has made bond. So I don't expect there's any further reason to come back to this court. The state intends to proceed with this in common police court. So Mr. Suter would be willing to waive his right to a preliminary hearing so we can...
So now there's two misdemeanors. Are they both going with felony also?
They will, Your Honor, so we'll have to nollie those.
Okay. Okay, he's going to sign a waiver then.
Yes, he will. I do not have one prepared, though.
I think it's printed out.
Okay.
Chris, what day did he get out of jail? On Friday.
When do I have to go into it?
Yeah, well, same thing, but yeah, 2 different terms.
All right. Yeah, I see one in there, but again, when it comes down to it, I can't do that, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that looks like we have one of them.
Well, hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not, right.
Judge, Mr. Suter has executed a written waiver of his right to a preliminary hearing. He understands that this matter will proceed for grand jury consideration and then on to common police court.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Suter?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll accept your waiver. Which means it's going to be bound over to the grand jury. You should stay in touch with Mr. Dwyer so you can respond once the grand jury's finished with the case. CRB 2384 and TRC 23105 are knowledge to the grand jury.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You have the cases too, don't you? So you can call. Okay.
State of Ohio versus Jessica L. Thomas, case number TRC 2372, A and B.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
This is Mr. Dwyer's case set as a pretrial.
It is, Judge. This was originally set on Friday. This is a relatively new case. Ms. Thomas was just stopped on January 21st. I have not had a chance to obtain or review discovery with her yet. If you would give me a chance to do that, we can try to get this thing resolved on the 27th if you've got room.
Okay, the defendant's request case is continued to February 27th for another pretrial. Can I
State of Ohio versus Amber D. Ward, case number TRC 2316, A and B.
Waters' case pre-trial.
And Judge, this is a relatively new case too. I have though received discovery. I received discovery, I think last week on this. It included a copy of the video of the stop. I need to get together and go over that with Ms. Ward and haven't yet done that. But I think that this one will be ready to resolve at the next pretrial.
All right, February 27th?
Yeah, if that's all right with you.
February 27th will be the next hearing, pre-trial, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Stephen T. Wells, case number TRC 22-2615, A, B, and C.
Mr. DeWaters' case pre-trial.
On this one, Judge, I've talked to Mr. Hield about, we've received discovery on this. I have reviewed the video and talked to Mr. Wells about the issues. There is no breath score in this case, and it's alleged to be an OVI. However, there are some field sobriety tests. After looking at it, I think there are lots of issues with the field sobriety tests. I've asked Mr. Hield to take a look at the video as well. He's asked me to flesh those issues out specifically in a motion, and I'd be happy to do that, although I have not yet done it. I don't know if I can have that done and ready by the 27th, but I should be able to. That's
Okay, so we'll do a pre-trial motions on February 27th.
okay.
State of Ohio versus David Pedersen, case number CRB 2376.
Your Honor, the defendant's name is misspelled on the file. It's Peterson with one T,
Okay.
more the common spelling.
We move to amend that, Your Honor.
Complaints filed.
I believe the complaint is spelled
Complaint is
incorrectly.
filed with 2 T's, so it's one P-E-T-E-R-S-O-N.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, S-E-N, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
S-E-N. They move to amend.
Yes, S-E-N? Yes. P-E-T-E-R-S-E-N.
And Your Honor, I believe this matter is is a domestic violence that has been alleged. Mr. Peterson is no longer in the home where the alleged domestic violence took place. His belongings remain there. It's my understanding that the alleged victim has contacted Ms. White and discussed possibly taking his belongings to the South Point PD.
If they'll allow it, because it's right next door.
Have you made any inquiries about that?
She's supposed to call me and let me know if they're going to allow it or not. I haven't heard back yet.
Because he does need to be able to get his belongings, and I think,
Can we get the registration?
well, if she's not here asking for it. And she's not. So, I believe, Your Honor, at this point, we're looking like we may end up eventually needing to try this, but I want to file discovery if that's the route we're going to go. So I'd like to ask for at least one more pre-trial. There is a restraining order in place. I don't know if that's something we can address in a later hearing where the victim to appear.
I can tell her she's out of jail now. She was out of jail, she got out of jail, I think, last Thursday.
But she does want a protection order.
I can tell her she has to come to those pre-trial.
So what we'll do is ask the alleged victim to go to the next pretrial, and it sounds like there might be a way for Mr. Peterson to get his belongings. So hopefully that can take place before the next pretrial. And if Mr. Steyer files for discovery, then we'll answer that as promptly as we can.
So basically, Your Honor, we need to get one more pre-trial at least, and then at that point determine whether we need a trial date or if we can figure out a different route. So,
Do we need the complaining party here for the next hearing?
That's what we're going to seek to do, Your Honor.
How long do you think that would take? Okay.
Just 2 weeks should be sufficient, Your Honor.
The 21st,
I'm available that day. That's a Tuesday.
that's a Tuesday. February 21st will be the next hearing.
Stick around. I was going to talk to you when I didn't know. Stick around. I'll talk to you after my next couple cases. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus William S. Gore, case number CRB 22408, and CRD 221711.
This is your attorney, this is actually Mr. Smith's case.
Okay, You did. Mr. Smith has a trial there. Common Pleas Court. Okay. So it sounds like we're waiting on a physical copy of the report, but we haven't. I was just told that he's doing well. So I don't know what the court's pleasure would be. We want to come back when we got the physical paperwork in our hands, or schedule this for another date. Mr. Smith, due to his schedule, asked that if the court would indulge him, he'd like to ask that these be set, I say these because there's another one that I'm going to be covering for Mr. Smith, be set for either the 13th or 17th of March if it's possible. I don't know if there's a preference between those 2 days, so whichever, if one day is better for the court's calendar, just pick that date.
17th, or what was the other?
13th or 17th.
Probably the 13th.
Okay. So 13th at 10 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
March 13th, 10 a.m. will be the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Zachary R. Dement, case number CRB 22553, CRB 23556, and CRA 2360. Mr. Thompson.
Your Honor, we're waiting on a report from Mahajan, so I suppose we could arraign the burglary charge if you want to do that now. But
Okay. That's 2360 is the...
2360. Do you have that?
Yes, 2360.
I have not recalled his word on that case.
Is he still in treatment?
yes.
Then as long as that's good.
Okay, on 2360, which is the new burglary charge, how do you want to proceed on that, Mr. Thompson?
Well, we can go ahead. We plead not guilty to it.
You waive reading, you want me to read it
Yes,
in the
sir.
record?
Yeah, we waive it.
Your Honor, if it please the court, Mr. Dement, I know from his lawyer that he, wanted to present himself today voluntarily, knowing that there's this felony charge that would be a new charge, and he's done that, so we're satisfied in that respect. And there's a co-defendant in this charge. His name is Ronnie Gillespie, and we had his case recently, and it went on to the grand jury. And so what I want to do here is just go ahead and nollie this one and have the grand jury consider it as well. I don't know what's going to come of it, if anything will, but we would like to proceed that way. He's still got 2 cases that are pending before the court, misdemeanor cases.
Those are domestic violence.
Okay.
And what we could ask for a continuance of 1 week, and we can give you the reports that you need.
Do you want to, on the burglary, do you want to waive to the grand jury? Maybe, because I'll give him an OR bond since he showed up. If you acknowledge it, the other court may issue a warrant for him.
Then we'll wait.
Okay, he can sign a waiver. So what this means to you, Mr. DeMint, you had a hearing today, or I would set a hearing, actually, today's the arraignment for preliminary, but you're waiving that and saying you agree your case can go on to the grand jury. The advantage to you is I'm going to let you sign a signature bond since you showed up on your own. And what that means is you should at least get a chance to show up on your own at the common police court if you are indicted. To make that happen, though, you're going to need to stay in touch with Mr. Thompson, and then and also kind of keep tabs on whether you're indicted. And so you can show up on your own again rather than getting hauled in on it once. So talk to Mr. Thompson. He can, I gave you a very brief explanation. It's kind of, you may have some questions about that. And then you've got the cases here that will stay in this court on the pretrial. Do you understand what I've explained to you about waiving your preliminary hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll accept your waiver. And I'll set the bond at 10,000 OR. So you don't have to post the money as long as you show up for court. So that means a signature bond. It's like you're promising to come to court or you'll pay $10,000 for not showing up. Now, what are we doing with the cases that are here in this court?
Well, he was supposed to be going to Mahajan.
And I talked to Mahajan, they've got a problem with their fax machine, and so if we had 1 week, we would have the reports that you need.
Mr. Field?
The last time we were here on January the 30th, Mr. DeMint was not here, and it was reported to the court that he was at the hospital. And we just want to make sure that he's in treatment at this point. If there's some way that Mahajan could be contacted.
He called his counselor. We're just trying to get the report. I was there with him when he talked to his counselor.
Right. Well, I mean, we want him to be in we're not looking for ways to cause problems, but we'd like to have some indication that we can.
You want to have Mr. Major call?
If something like that could happen, that way we would know.
We could do that. We could do that.
Let's have would you coordinate that with Mr. Major, then we'll recall later.
Okay.
Versus Deanna L. Fry, case number CRA 2336. Deanna Fry.
That makes all the difference.
Mr. Smith's case. He was supposed to be at Southern Hope. We had a representative from Southern Hope here earlier.
She's on a bond, Your Honor, with Sowers, I believe. And I have not talked to her for a while. I'm not so sure why she's not here. I don't have anything from Southern Hope, so.
Southern Hope representative here?
It's not in the court.
No.
Michael Quan, I think is his name. He was here earlier for the fire. Okay, can you contact Southern Hope then? She was supposed to be getting treatment there.
Yes, Your Honor, and I've got her number too. I can try to figure out where she is. But I can call both places and just have it recalled.
This case will be recalled.
State of Ohio versus Caleb T. Ham, case number CRA 2345 A and B.
Mr. Smith's case set for preliminary hearing.
Treatment or anything. No. Anger management. No.
I'm actually about to start. And we're still in West Virginia this week, so. Get all that stuff. Huh?
Since you got 2 out of 4, so if they want to keep it here in this court, not go to police court.
I'm going to plead my guilty because very much because the last call they got was she called and said that.
I'm just saying that you got 2 18 months. So if you're going to give them that, you have 3 years in prison. What I'm saying is, if they want to keep it to dismiss.
Your Honor, it's our intention to send this case to the grand jury. I don't know if Mr. Ham posted a bond or not, but he can.
He did.
Obviously waive if he wants to.
He posted $7,500 was the bond. So to keep that bond, you can waive once sent to the grand jury, go to common police court, get out of this court. So we have to, if you waive, you can keep your bonds in common police court. Otherwise, if they nullify it, the judge can issue a new bond. So it could be higher. If you want to stay out of jail, bond, you would waive it. All right. We'll waive it, Your Honor.
Okay, we need to sign a waiver. Mr. Ham, you have a right to have a preliminary hearing in this court, and by signing this document, you're agreeing to waive that and agree your case can go to the grand jury. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I just stepped out here. Is this the one case number?
There's an A and a B,
That's,
but just the one case number.
thank you.
All right, the matter is waived to the grand jury. Again, stay in touch with Mr. Smith so that you can keep your bond and appear in court voluntarily when you're asked to.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, is there something in the file to indicate when the bond was posted?
Yes, January 14th.
Thank you. All right, so.
State of Ohio versus Brandon G. Helton, case number CRB 2318 and TRD 213585 A and B, TRD 213053 A and B. Not check in, Your Honor.
Brandon Helton is set for pretrials.
Your Honor, it looks like this is a Walmart theft case.
Yes.
And some old cases, looks like there's some fines and stuff on it. I just asked 7 days, try to get them in.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Helton was ordered to have some community service done by today also.
All right, there'll be next warrant issued in 7 days if Mr. Helton hadn't appeared in that time frame.
State of Ohio versus Keandre Hill, case number CRB 2314.
Mr. Smith's case, pre-trial.
I'd like to have a pre-trial and have you and I talk about it before that. Okay, all right. Couple weeks. I can also, I can do this, but I don't want to do it. No, I got you. All right, Your Honor, I had requested discovery and it was answered. I'd like, but there's a couple things we need to discuss, so I think maybe one more pre-trial will probably have the same result, hopefully. Maybe a couple weeks.
Are you available on the 21st? That's Tuesday.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it's a request case to continue to February 21st for another pre-trial at 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus Joseph A. Graham, case number CRB 2375. Mr. Walker's case.
Workers' case after pre-trial.
You're great.
So, we've got suspended and treatment for probation.
Here's what's ever offered. Have you been in it before? This kind of charge? Like before COVID, maybe, or right at the time of COVID? Okay, we had treatment then? Yes. Did you finish it? Yes. Okay, here's what's appropriate. 30 days in jail suspended. Continue with your treatment. You want to take that? Or you do? Now, I want to make sure you understand you're in a plea to domestic assault. Every time that happens, the penalties increase. Okay. That's what you want to do?
Yes.
Your Honor, I think I'm going to take Mr. Hill up on his offer.
Which is,
30 days suspended, continued treatment at, where you going?
I have no idea.
Oh, where did you go?
Going to a place in Huntington. I can't remember the name of it.
Your Honor, a little bit of background on this situation. Apparently, the parties were involved in a similar situation a couple of years ago during COVID, and because of COVID, there was, I guess, the counseling that was ordered and that Mr. Graham participated in was remote telehealth, and the alleged victim, apparently these two have continued to be together and maybe plan on being together in the future, but she says that the telehealth didn't really accomplish anything. So now we've had another incident. It's an M4 domestic, but it's very serious. And as long as Mr. Graham agrees to take part in counseling for both substance abuse and anger, we would be okay with a suspended jail sentence of 30 days and have him on probation, and hopefully he makes progress and is sufficiently, his progress is sufficient that Ms. Lindsay will no longer want the protection order, but at this point she still wants the protection order.
and is he a West Virginia resident?
Yes, Your Honor.
This address is correct, the West Fifth Avenue?
Yes.
She lives over here, I assume?
Yes, she lives in Proctorville.
Okay. Do you have a West Virginia medical card? How do you pay for medical services now?
I haven't really needed to.
Okay. Are you working?
No.
Well, you're eligible then probably to get a West Virginia medical card.
Okay.
Have you ever been to Valley Health? You live 18th Street West. Well, there's really three places I could refer you to, I think, that could assist you in Huntington. OVP, which is at 20th Street and 6th Avenue. ProAct, which is 20th Street and 8th Avenue. And Valley Health, which is on 3rd Avenue, about 27th Street, something like that. They're all at the opposite end of town from where you live. Do you have transportation to?
Yes, my sister lives right in that area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Ms. DeMint is here. Ms. DeMint, can you hear me? Is there somebody there from ODP? I see there. It says ODP Recovery Center. Okay, well, apparently they're not listening in. So what we're going to refer you, you need to get, set up a session for substance use and anger management counseling.
Okay.
You can, in any of those facilities would be agreeable, and you'll come back and then I'm going to monitor whether you've gone to your counseling like you were supposed to. Okay? Do you agree with what your attorney said, that you want to plead guilty to this?
Yes.
And now, one thing you need to know too, once you have this on your record, it's kind of like what we call now an OVI, DUI. Those go on your record, and once you get another one, it enhances the next penalty. So if you get another one of these, it's going to be a more serious, considered a more serious charge because you've had a conviction before. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, I hope the goal is to not have any more of these, but if you do get another one, it's gonna be considered more serious because you've had a prior conviction. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you still wanna go ahead with the plea?
Yes.
Okay, I'll accept your plea. Anything else you wanna tell me before I sentence you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, 30 days in jail suspended.
Is this for domestic violence or?
Yes, 2375 case number. So 30 days in jail suspended,
What was the fine amount?
$100. $100 fine, court costs, 30 days suspended. 2 years of level 4 probation. Review hearing September the 8th. Order to seek counseling for substance use and anger management. And I'll need a report when you come back for your review hearing that you've been there and done that.
Okay, Your Honor.
He's to see Mr. Major in the probation office,
When would you like him to come back for?
September 8th.
Okay.
That would be at 9, Your Honor?
Yes, 9 a.m. September 8th.
Here's what you got for a second. Here's when you come back. Here's Russia for probate, and I'll be paid.
State of Ohio versus Lonnie McDonald Jr., case number CRB 23-5 A and B.
He's right beside Mr. McDonald, Mr. Morford's case set for pre-trial.
What's going on with your children's services today?
They haven't contacted me.
You what?
They haven't contacted me that they got hold of.
The children, they live with you.
Their mom.
Yes. And
I can look at it well, because I don't know if it's on the computer or not.
I'll call counsel.
2372.
And anger.
Here's what you're 60 days suspended. If they have resisting.
I'm not going to wait till the mess around with that.
Okay. Judge, my client doesn't wish to take the state's offer. I guess I'd ask you to set it for a trial.
You have a preference as to when?
Monday or Friday. On Friday, a couple of weeks out, Your Honor.
24th.
That's good, Judge.
February 24th at noon for trial.
State of Ohio versus Russell Struble, case number TRC 222761, A and B.
Struvel's on the teleconference. And this is Mr. Morford's case.
Judge, could we approach for just a second?
Yes. Mr. Struvel's not going to be able to hear you. The only people that are not going to be able to hear you are the courtroom. You're starting precedent there.
Judge, my client and I had a lengthy telephone conversation recently, and he has authorized me to enter a plea guilty to the citation.
That's operating a vehicle intoxicated and failure to control.
Yes, Your Honor, or plead guilty to both.
All right, Mr. Struble, could you hear that? Is there anything you want to say? Okay. I'm going to enter a $1,000 fine. The reason I'm doing that is you refuse to take tests, so that's my policy. If you refuse to take tests, you get a $1,000 fine. So that'll be the fine, $1,000 plus court costs. There'll be a 6-month license suspension that started December the 11th. Did you have insurance on your vehicle, sir? Okay. I don't think that will be a problem since he's out. You have a Texas driver's license? Oklahoma, okay. How do you want to handle that, Mr. Morford?
I'd just apply, get a order from you, Judge, if you would grant those privileges.
Well, he's got to have proof of insurance, and it's not, and my other concern is if it goes into the B&B without proof of insurance, will they take some action against his license?
I don't want to even try to find out the answer to that. Mr. Struble, can you fax to us your proof of insurance? Did you have insurance in your name on another vehicle? Effective December the 11th of 2022? Okay, if you have that card that shows you're covered, then that will cover you in the rental car also. And can you send us that today? And the reason I'm asking is once we process your case and send it on to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles in Columbus, our state capital, I cannot accept it any longer. You have to submit it to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, which if you ever try to deal with them, is kind of hard to do. And they have a lot going on. There's millions of drivers in the state of Ohio, and they're dealing with people like you from out of state that get in trouble here too. So it's hard to get in to even talk to anybody if you call. So here's what I'm going to suggest. If you think you can get it today, because we have to do it today, if you can fax it into the clerk's office by 4 o'clock today, we're good. If you think it's going to take longer than today, I would suggest delaying your sentencing to another day, let you get your insurance information together so you can present or get it in here before the sentencing date so that you don't have to go through the mess of dealing with the Ohio B&V. So what's your preference?
Yeah, you can you can email it. We actually have email too. So either way, you can scan it, email it to the clerk's office, or you can fax it. We just gotta have it in our clerk's office by 4 o'clock today, or continue it to another day if you want to submit it to the clerk rather than try to submit it to the Ohio BMV.
Mr. Stubble, if there's any doubt in your mind that you cannot do it by 4, or you can do it by 4, let's take the judge up on my offer to delay your sentencing. It really is essential that you get those documents here before the court has to process the case.
Okay, yeah, we can just delay it, and I'll get it sent over.
How much time do you think you want to do it on the set? I know you're here on the was that Tuesday, the 21st?
Let me see.
I think you're already here that day.
You know my calendar better than I do. Yes, sir.
February 21st?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we're going to delay it to February 21st. So start working on that now. If you don't have the little card, call your agent or get hold of your company so you can get that card to submit. And it's got to be the day of the incident. In effect.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stubble, would you fax that to my office?
Or email.
Or email.
I think he did have a fax machine, according to what he said.
Yeah, I'll call the office and get the email address right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio recalls Deanna L. Fry, case number CRA 2336.
Okay, I did get a text from Michael Kwan at Southern Hope. She never appeared for assessment.
I spoke to Mr. Kwan too. He told me that, I guess he came for the assessment, didn't come to any treatments, and he said he's going to prepare a report stating the same, and we'll fax it over, but, I mean, we're already aware of what it's going to say.
And this was on a felony, and she has a bond up, so, but she has an Alabama address, so she has a bond up of $3,500. So how's the state want to proceed?
Probably just need to nolly to the grand jury.
Okay. Case will be knowledge to the grand jury. Defendant failed to appear, failed to go to treatment as she promised to do.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio recalls Zachary DeVent, case number CRB 22553, CRB 22506.
I have a report from Mahajan. Says he didn't appear for his last appointment.
But it's a little bit odd because that's not even his counselor, but at any rate, we would ask that he be given another chance and to bring up the report.
We're not opposed to that. We just want to make sure that he sticks with it.
Okay. Do you want to stick with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me clue you in a little bit. Because I know what you got. You got a burglary charge out there that's going down to the other court, right? That's a felony 3. That's serious business. So, I don't know the background. Maybe it's totally bogus. You didn't do anything, whatever. But if it was me, and just what I know about the way the system works, I wouldn't want to show up at the other court with a report saying I'm non-compliant with treatment. I want to show up with a report that says, I'm like a star person. I'm doing everything they want me to do. I'm trying to give you some advice here. This is, I think Mr. Thompson seemed shaking his head. I'm giving him some good advice.
Absolutely.
Because if you show up with a bad report, it's awful easy to send you on down, up the river, down the river, however you want to say it, and just get you out, because family threes can go to prison. So if you don't want to go to prison and you want to have a good chance of getting some leniency in your treatment, you need to show up with good reports. And that's not even counting, you got cases here too. So same thing works here. I want to see you get in recovery, I want to see you get clean and sober. And it looks like you're doing part of it, at least the report says you've done some sessions, but you got to be dedicated to this. Okay? You got a lot of reasons to be dedicated to it, because you got a big anvil over your head that could fall on you if you don't. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's come back in a month, and by then, give me a really good glowing report at your next session. March the 6th is the next hearing. Is that good for you, Mr. Thompson?
That's fine, thank you.
State of Ohio versus Joyce Ferguson, case number TRC 2345 A and B.
All right, and this is Ms. Ferguson. You were going to try to hire an attorney? Have you done
I
that?
have retained Ron Kermeans.
Okay. Was he supposed to be here?
I was hoping he would be here.
Okay, let's, I'll have the clerk contact him and we'll recall you, so just have a seat.
Okay.
State of Ohio versus Michael W. Piles, case number CRA 21733, CRB 21734, CRC 212780, and TRD 21564. This is a pre-minute.
Michael Piles, he's the veteran.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's been problematic, as I remember.
You're spot on.
And he's not here today. And Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Kermeans texted and said he's on his way.
Okay, thanks.
How do you want to proceed with Mr. Piles? He's already pled guilty to the OVI.
Well, under the circumstances, we'd ask for a warrant to be issued from this court because he can be sentenced significantly on that charge he's already pled guilty to.
Let me check. I think he's the one, I want to speak out of turn, that Ms. Runyon had difficulty with.
That's what our notes indicate.
Rayburn, Ms. Rayburn. I always want to call her Runyon, Ms. Rayburn, Amanda Rayburn. Yeah, if you want to approach, some of this is kind of sensitive information. delusion and this harassing me is signs in his yard about me calling myself a maniac. His mom called and said he's been using and she's concerned about my safety. She had an address where he is. I said you should call me a complaint over there. She said your supervisor's a person they talked to the violation. I said I don't think the threat is not protected by it. So I think she did call a complaint. That's why I said, and there was no hygiene bar issues. His mom thought they were going to pick him up. And that's the last I heard. He was going to be picked up on probably around the first or second. It's been recent. All right, there'll be a warrant issued for Mr. Piles for failure to appear.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Jeremiah Bennett, case number CRA 22-529.
All right, this is Mr. Smith's case.
How you doing? Great, I'm good. No, I'm not really having anything. Okay. Just working everything. You're just working everything. Okay. Work at Roosters, is that what happened? Okay. You're still doing what you did before. Yeah, okay.
else are we doing on this? Is he in treatment?
Al, the two of them.
Okay, he completed. Yeah. He completed his treatment.
Thank you.
Money issue.
Okay.
Do by entry.
Well, we need to tell the court what we're doing. Is he also going to,
He's completed treatment.
oh, he has?
Yeah. He's working at Brewster's.
Okay. So this said he was to be completed on this December 20th. Okay.
Well, Mr. Piles, Mr. Morford, and Mr. Hill. Mr. Morford, on Piles, I had a response from Amanda Rayburn.
Sorry,
He has not been picked up on the mental hygiene more as far as she knows, but he hasn't made any further contact
okay.
either. So the warrant should go out.
Thank you, Judge.
So, Your Honor, on this case with Mr. Bennett, one of the things that we had been asked to look at the last hearing was money that was confiscated from Mr. Bennett at the time that he was arrested. And
At
we-
Chesapeake, right?
At Chesapeake, and we asked them about the money that was confiscated and whether they felt that it could be connected to any kind of activity. And they said no, that it would be okay if the money would be returned to him.
Okay.
I don't have an exact figure. I don't know. We thought it was about $500, but
Do you know what those are?
It was either, yeah, it was around 500, 450.
it's in the
$500.
report.
It was, he just had cashed his paycheck, I think.
Do you want to prepare an order? to
I
that
can
effect?
prepare one, I don't, hopefully it's in the,
I think it is.
usually they put anything that was taken down, so they should have the exact number in the report.
Is it at the sheriff's office or at Chesapeake?
Chesapeake, and it's probably in here. And then the other question is, what was has he successfully completed his treatment at the counseling center? And the last report we got was from December the 14th, and they indicated he would be done on December the 20th, so it looks like he's completed
Right, he was completed last time we were here, last month, so.
on January.
But I don't think we ever got a final report. Mr. Davis is here today, so could you check? It's Jeremiah Bennett. See if we could get a final report. The last report I have is dated in December 14th. Okay. How do you want to proceed, Mr. Hill?
Well, if he's completed, and they feel that that he's done everything they asked him to do, I don't know there would be any reason to continue on. Hopefully, he's reached a level of sobriety that he can go it alone without, and maybe he'll continue to seek services, which probably wouldn't be a bad thing.
You have any do the outpatient stuff?
$493.
You working?
I work over 40 hours. And
He is employed, which is good, Your Honor. He's working over 40 hours, so usually with employment and everything else, that does help with the sobriety as well, so.
Well, do you want to set another hearing and get me the final, and have it dismissed then, or you want to try to recall it, get?
I've got to prepare an entry anyways, maybe we can just recall it unless Mr. Davis has it.
He did complete, they're gonna send you the paperwork, but I can verify he completed.
All right, thank you. Want to recall it, prepare an entry, and case will be concluded. Congratulations, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, sir.
State of Ohio versus Austin D. Pauley, case number CRA 22737, CRB 2262, CRB 19743, CRB 21246, A and B.
This is Mr. Stiers' case.
Your Honor, Mr. Polly remains in treatment at Riverside, which we've got a report for this.
Very good report.
Your Honor, I think it's the state's intention to maintain the case here for the time being, and in order to accomplish that, we would be willing to enter a time waiver and ask the case to be reset at a time that the court considers appropriate.
March 6th.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Case will be continued to March 6th for further hearing on all matters before the court.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good start, sir.
State of Ohio versus Robert Pritchard, case number TRC 222784, A and B.
Mr. Holt's case set for pre-trial. Robert Pritchard.
Okay. Approach, Your Honor.
Yes. One deal. All right, this matter will be recalled later in the docket. Give counsel and Mr. Campbell a chance to talk. I'm sorry, Pritchard. Mr. Pritchard.
State of Ohio versus Benjamin L. Shepherd, case number CRV 22135, TRC 213595.
Mr. Bolt's case set for pre-trial.
Your Honor, he's done 1 day of community service since we're here.
I believe it was last week. And he had some vehicle issues, but he's got that fixed so he can do more this week. But he did do one day last week after we were here. That's when he showed up and we recalled the warrant.
Okay. And see, he went to Spectrum for an assessment, it looks like.
Yeah, he did the school, but he didn't follow up with the assessment. I think there was a misunderstanding with that.
He did do the 3-day school.
But I mean, the past, and then he did it was a past OVI, it wasn't what the case we're here on now.
Right.
It was what he thought he had done what, he'd satisfy his obligation, I think is what he indicated to court, where he had done the 3-day school, but there was a follow-up assessment that he did not complete. And he's done that since.
Okay, so he did the 3-day school and they recommended an assessment and he's done that.
That's what he did not do, correct. He didn't understand that, is what he indicated to the court.
So I need a report, because they gave me a report about the assessment, they didn't give me a report that he finished the 3-day school.
Yeah, that was I believe, in the past that he did the 3-day school, like months or.
And he's here, so the name is Benjamin Shepherd.
It was over a year ago.
Middle initial L. Okay, so get that taken care of, and then
I believe he did the school over a year ago.
see an anger management
Yes.
course was completed. Okay, this is an older domestic violence. That's okay. I like him. It was going to be. Okay. Well, maybe there was some confusion, because I think he was, and he has done it now, he did some anger management, and he was supposed to get an assessment for Spectrum of that, and then it would be dismissed after 90 days. And then it looks like he didn't come back in the spring, and then he got this ODI in the summer. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
And then in the interim, he did complete the anger management. But there's been no further issues.
And the costs have been paid. So is the state still willing to dismiss 22-135, which was a domestic?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, 22-135 dismissed. Then on 21-35-95, we just need to set another review hearing. Looks like he still has some community service and fines to pay.
I believe he's going to work some community service days today, or this week. Is that correct? You said you're going to work this week. What days are you? What was the day you said? We need to write, he's going to set up a review hearing date, but what days did you want to work community service?
I can do it tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay. And those are going to be good weather days to do it. Let's set the next review hearing, March 13th, 9 a.m. I'm sorry. March 13th, for his review hearing. Yeah, March 13th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Michael Singer, case number CRB 22660.
Your Honor, we have a good report from Spectrum here. This was a 90-day continuance. Would you like to see it, Your Honor?
Okay, looks good. What's the state's position on that?
Well, it sounds like it's making significant progress, which is great, and we're still willing to stick with what we'd agreed to before, and that is if he completes the counseling, that we would agree to dismiss the charges upon the payment of court costs. I don't think we're there yet, but we're getting closer.
Your Honor, I thought this was, if he paid court costs today, I thought it was going to be dismissed.
Is he considered completed, or, you know?
No, I don't think so.
Do you have any idea of projected completion date?
I thought it was just for the 90 days.
That was our understanding, was that he was doing it for the 90 days.
Call and see.
Because that's what
Yeah.
we agreed to last
That's-
time.
yes.
It's only been 90 days, pay court costs.
That would
But
be-
he can pay the court costs today. That was our understanding, yes.
Well, my notes were counseling at Spectrum, but I don't say that it necessarily would be completed in 90 days, but
We use that term 90 days sometimes in a situation where the requirement only is that the parties don't have any more problems. And we can put a definite date on it. When there's counseling involved, it may not be exactly 90 days. My notes were complete Spectrum and dismiss with costs. So complete Spectrum is one of the things we would expect, not to lessen the fact that Mr. Singer's got a great report today. And that's really what we're aiming for. But I think completion is an important part of it too.
Well, we're going to have to defer to what the court wants us to do.
Well, I'm not going to get in there and interfere. I mean, if you all agree, you agree. If you don't, then I can set it for a trial. That's the other option.
So what's that mean? I'm sorry, I'm not with her. So we got to continue to go Spectrum, even though she dismissed everything. That's all allegation.
Can we recall this, Your Honor?
Yes, we'll recall it later.
Can you check and see if he had a completion date?
Yes.
State of Ohio versus Felicia D. Steele, case number CRE 22662. Felicia Steele.
Splitting the
I'll
lot.
check in.
Your Honor, this was a 90-day continuance with no counseling, and she has paid court costs, and I approved that.
I did make a note she didn't have to appear, and if she paid costs, what she did. So the case will be dismissed unless there's been some other event occur.
Our indication, there's been no further problems.
Case will be dismissed.
State of Ohio versus Corey Little, case number CRA 22405, CRB 22407, CRB 22491.
This is Mr. Holt's case for preliminary hearing.
Your Honor, could we recall this matter as well? Actually, can we approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, Mr. Little is here local again, and he would like to pursue the treatment route if the court is amenable to that.
So you want to go to Riverside? That's where he was set up before?
Straight next to my house.
So have him go back to Riverside for treatment, and we're going to accept him then. And there's a representative from Riverside here today, so I want to talk to him. Come back March 6th.
That works, Your Honor.
Okay, March 6th will be the next hearing.
10 or 9?
10. Your Honor, would the court be willing to entertain an order to, I don't believe they're having evidentiary reasons, the police court, or excuse me, the Chesapeake Police Department has Mr. Little's wallet, which has his identification information and things he needs. It was just on the warrant, and whether there's any charges that are resulting from that, if I prepare that with the court, would the state be okay with that? If they want to contact the Chesapeake Police Department?
When did they take his ID?
Just when he got stopped.
Yeah, like last week.
January 31st.
We can certainly find out. I don't know what reason they would have to keep it at this point.
Would you care, would somebody from your office care to call them and see if they would?
We can text them. They may or may not get back with us right away.
Well, if you just want to hang out here for a second, we'll get hopefully get an answer, okay? So leave if you want to find out. Let's hang out.
State of Ohio versus Caleb McDonald, case number CRA 21229. Caleb McDonald.
She's here with
Caleb McDonald.
She's here.
Is that the counseling center?
Sure.
So you've got a presentation coming up here on Thursday, right?
Yes.
Says you're going to do a presentation in your group? So-
Yes.
Okay. Getting ready for it?
Yes.
You look good.
Thank you.
You look clean and sober.
Thank you, thank you.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be depending on the exact circumstances. Mr. Holt is urging me to say that if Ms. McDonald completes this treatment program successfully, that we'd be looking at dismissal of the charges, and we certainly want to do that. I guess the only response I would have to that is that we want to make sure that she doesn't stumble across the finish line. We want her to sprint across the finish line. So that would be our only caution on that.
The residential portion of this with TCC.
It's in April, I think, right? Not finishing it. Okay, well, looks like you're doing really well.
Thank you.
Do we want to do March 6th?
That's fine. March 6th will be the next one.
State of Ohio versus Dakota A. Wallace, case numbers CRA 2347 and CRA 2348.
Mr. Hall's case, wondering
When are we moving that up? March 6th. That's not good. But let's do this. Let's not wait that long. Let's put that up.
yes.
What's his name? Your Honor, what we would like to do is hold this out about 30 days and see where we stand at that time. It's my understanding that Mr. Wallace is still in school, that he was suspended, but he's back in school. So that's obviously a big part of what we wanted to find out in order to figure out how we were going to treat the case.
You got feedback from the school administration?
Yes.
Is there, when's spring break? When we come back and he's off out of school? See that?
When is your spring break?
That's in April. Is it April?
You guys know? Can you look it up?
I think it's the week between April 8th and 15th, I believe. Is that too long to go, Mr. Healy?
No, that's fine.
Let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure it starts Easter week, is that? The week after Easter? Which is the April 9th, so the 10th, April 10th would be a good date. It should be out of school that day.
April 10th.
Check April 10th. Does that work, Mr. Paul?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, April the 10th will be the next hearing. There's a time wait before.
State of Ohio versus Joyce Ferguson, case number TRC 2345 A and B.
Mr. Kareem's case set for pre-trial.
Your Honor, can we reset this to maybe March 6th? We need to get through the discovery process in this matter.
Okay, defendant's request, case is continued to March the 6th. for another pretrial offense.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I apologize for my tardiness, Your Honor. I was in Gallia County and it took a little longer than expected.
I understand.
State of Ohio versus Darrell Carter, case number TRC 22-2061.
Mr. Delauder's case.
Judge, this is a first offense OVI that Mr. Carter pled guilty to at a previous hearing. We had a discussion at that time on the record about, and you probably will remember this, about an issue related to the breath test because Mr. Carter was administered one breath test, it returned an invalid sample, and then another breath test was administered. I had discussed with Mr. Heald a potential problem in not waiting an additional 20 minutes to make sure that any mouth alcohol cleared. Anyway, if you recall, there was some Department of Health memoranda that supported my position. However, there was no case law that supported my position. So, and all of the case law related to the data master, and this was an intoxilizer. In any event, the conclusion we reached was to enter a guilty plea and recommend that this be treated as a regular first offense rather than an aggravated first offense. However, Mr. Heald wanted Mr. Carter to obtain a substance abuse assessment to make sure that there weren't any underlying issues that needed dealt with. Mr. Carter has done that at this point. I've got a report from Spectrum. They indicate that Mr. Carter was engaging, participated in the assessment and cooperated. However, they did not find that he met criteria for substance use disorder. May I approach on you that?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd also like to add that the citation indicated a prior offense in 2012, but it was outside of 10 years.
Okay. So the state's agreeable treating as a first offense?
Yes, Your Honor, and I am taking it on faith that Spectrum, understood the full picture. The test score was pretty high, and he'd had another one back in 2012. And as long as they knew those things and went through the rest of their evaluation and decided that he did not have a disorder, then I guess that's the result we're left with.
Okay. Anything you wish to say, Mr. Carter?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll impose a $500 fine, order you to pay the court costs, 6-month license suspension. Well, that's why I need to look at the citation.
He was not a refusal. He did submit to a chemical test. So his license has been suspended now for quite some time.
Started July 10th. He is eligible to get reinstated again. So 20 days in jail, all suspended, 5 days community service, 2 years probation. He will have to go to the 3-day school driver intervention program. His review hearing will be September the 8th of this year at 9 a.m. And on the approaching a safety vehicle, impose a $20 fine.
Okay, thank you, Judge. I'll have him see the Spectrum for the DIP school and the probation officer before yours.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Elizabeth Hoffman Howard, case number TRC 22-164A and TRC 19-3485A.
Officer Stiers representing Ms. Hoffman Howard.
Your Honor, she has here with her a letter from PATH, I'm going to put this to state, as well as her one-year sobriety coin.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And she also has proof of employment here, as well as a receipt for her a security deposit on her own place to live, which I think also is going to be a positive in where we're going with this situation and the underlying issues.
How's the state want to proceed with this? She pled some time ago.
Everything that she's accomplished, Your Honor, is admirable, considering, where she's come from. So she's got a lot to be proud of. I'm sure that getting that coin is meaningful. We don't want to leave her too quickly and set her up for failure. I don't know that that report indicates that they feel that her need for counseling is completed. So we'd like to have her come back at least once more.
And Your Honor, we're willing to come back as long as the court wants. I think as a practical matter, though, Mr. Hill needs to probably keep in mind, I don't think this is a case where we're going to ever see an indication that she's going to no longer need counseling. Just being honest, we have a history of substance abuse going back far enough here and with enough depths that I think it would be unrealistic for her to get the expectation that she's ever going to need to no longer have treatment. And I hope the state realizes that she recognizes that.
Well, I think that's good that she does. Well, let's set it up in April and I'll conclude the sentencing. I'd like for the state and defendant to discuss that before what you're going to recommend or what could be recommended to the court. So I'm looking at maybe April 7th.
You make certain, if that day works, Your Honor, April 7th. 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock is April 7th. Well, good job, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Judge Capper.
State of Ohio versus Alfonso Scott, case number TRC 22-1338.
Mr. Squires' case.
Yeah, that was about the last case. Well, they were in the
Does he still have the interlock delays?
That's why I wanted to tell you something I wanted to tell you about.
Yeah, Your Honor, he wanted to get, I'm not sure he ever got the interlock device installed, and he wanted to address the court on that issue as well as a couple other things. We had a discussion, I told him, ask the court if you could let him speak.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, the entry allowing him to have that in the report saying he had a setback with alcohol are the same day, December 5th.
Right, and he wants to address that.
Because I thought about it all, and everybody busting their butt, you, Riverside, and I knew that you hadn't got that report, and I felt bad about it, and you had granted me that, and I was accepting it, but then when I was walking out of the courtroom, I couldn't do it because I felt like I didn't earn it, even off of that one setback. And I want all my ducks in line. So when I came back in, the guy who was sitting over there, I told him just to forget it, because that to me, it wasn't fair to the courts. It wasn't fair to me. And my whole thing is, to me, is when I'm done with this, I want to know that I'm done. I'm not trying to go back to any of this. I'm 56 years old, getting ready to turn 57, and I'm just tired. I'm tired, and I know I'm going to be a sober alcoholic for the rest of my life, and I accept that. And I'm always going to keep doing something about it, attending meetings, whatever it is, because I know that's what's going to keep me from ever having to be in your court again. And so I didn't accept that. I couldn't do it because I didn't earn it today. And I want everything, whenever you see a report on me, I just want to know that it's what it's supposed to be. So I continued riding the bike. And when they sent me the papers too, I just ripped them up and threw them away. And I just want to thank y'all for, for working with me.
Mr. Hill?
Well, it's at times, moments like this where a person makes a statement that indicates some level of acceptance and an admission, and that gives us hope that his sobriety is going to be permanent. And I think the fact that he did not go ahead and get the interlock after he knew he shouldn't, even though the court didn't know that day, I think that is admirable of him. We want him to be successful in his treatment and continue on. And we don't have a problem with a further continuance. He did have a minor setback, but it appears that he's continuing on and trying to be successful.
Oh yeah, and the other thing, I didn't know it myself because when I went down there and I had to report, I told them about it. But I didn't know that I got somebody who was still sitting there watching my back, which is my wife, and she told them about it. So they were waiting to see if I was going to tell them. And I told them, they're just like, hey, you do have somebody holding you accountable and things. And whenever I go down there, that's one of the things that can have everything going. And I said, well, you know everything going good because my wife ain't called y'all, so we know everything going fine. Because she'll call them if I do anything wrong. I'm cool with the way everything is. I'm happy and I feel great. And riding that bike is just what I'm going to keep doing until, even I feel comfortable about everything.
And if I may, Your Honor, I think obviously our goal is not to have setbacks, but the next best thing is that when there is a setback is for the person to realize what's happened, check themselves, and use that as an opportunity to grow and to learn. And I think we've not had that optimal result here, but we've had that next optimal result. So again, we'd also join the state in asking to set this out one more time, and from that point determine where we're going to go with this.
Let's go a couple months out then, and maybe we can conclude it then. April 7th.
I'm here that day, obviously, so that would work, Your Honor.
All right, next hearing will be April 7th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Randall Steele, case number CRA 22511, CRB 22512, CRC 222203, A, B, and C.
Mr. Steyer's case.
Completion papers. And go to same, Johnson? No. Okay. Okay, it's 2 different dates. I see what you got here, okay. Here's the second copy. With the same letter, it looks like. Is this all I'm taking? Hang on. These are your test results. We just said follow up. You want to keep that? Sure. That says you're in compliance because they're complete. It doesn't say complete. It says. Oh, okay. It says you haven't completed all specific trade aspects. I don't know if that means that your program's over. Is that what you're saying?
No,
Or you're just up to date?
no, I think it's saying that it's completed.
You don't have another appointment?
They set them up just in case.
Okay, well.
But she pretty much said that I didn't need to come back.
Okay.
It was pretty much up to him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what he says then.
So he has an OBI charge as a felony for endangering children. Fictitious registration, safety belt, and I think they're driving or suspension also.
And Your Honor, this was a situation where the OVI had been charged as a felony. However, I'll be honest with you, I can't recall off the top of my head what the issue was that.
It was 10.
Oh, there was an issue of there was a look back issue. There weren't enough in the look back issue to get to the felony level. So we ended up pleading him to a misdemeanor and set for sentencing and referred him into treatment. We've been following the treatment for some time.
Neither of the 2012 charges were within 10 years. The one obviously in 2019 was, so technically speaking, it's a second in 10 years. But we also, at the time that he pled guilty, we made it clear that we knew that this was his 4th lifetime, so it's still a serious situation. And that was one of the reasons why we urged that if he pled, to give him time to go to treatment. So we're looking for success in treatment.
And Your Honor, I think we see some test results there. This letter is a positive letter. It states he has completed all aspects of treatment that have been asked of him. I'm honestly not completely clear how to interpret that. Is that a completion letter, or is that saying he's completed what we've asked him to do? He indicates that his understanding is he's basically completed. He does have a further appointment available to him should the court wish him to continue active treatment, which I would assume that's generally sort of where we look for in a case like this. But so he has that capability, and he's willing to do so. But he also feels and I think the letter does indicate he's reached at least a milestone in his treatment that might be one that this would be one ready to look at for sentencing, or we would be willing to come back again, whichever the court's pleasure.
Well, one thing I think I'd like for him to do is do one of our urine screens today. And I'll make a decision after I see what that shows.
All right.
So do urine screen.
Go with that. Thanks.
State of Ohio versus Jacob Burchett, case number TRC 22-1262 A and B, TRC 20-1447 A, B, and C, and TRC 21-1581 A and B. Jacob Burchett.
And Your Honor, this is Mr. Smith's case that I'm covering this morning.
This is also on the sentencing docket.
You in treatment?
I graduated.
You graduated where from?
Riverside.
Okay.
He's at Riverside.
He's indicated he's graduated. I don't think anyone.
No, he has a certificate.
think he did graduate. I'll have to get his
It's in the card.
Yeah, they'll need his certificate.
I don't have, the last report says he's a candidate for graduation, but it doesn't say he's graduated.
They're indicating that he has, who was that that's with you?
My mother.
His mother is stepping out to the car to pick up the copy, the paperwork in the car. I've got another case being called again, if you want to just recall this when we recall that.
We'll recall it.
Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Jeremiah Bennett, case number CRA 22529.
I have your entry about the money. Is that the one thing?
Yes, Your Honor, I was going to have it, I believe, since that time as well. So,
So we were waiting on a report also from the counseling center. He is completed, I think, Mr. Davis said.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Davis said he completed.
All right, so how do you want to conclude it today, Mr. Hill?
I believe it's appropriate, Your Honor. He's had good reports every time. So, at least since near the beginning. So, yeah, we're okay with it.
All right, Mr. Bennett, congratulations. Good job. Case is going to be dismissed. You still have work yourself you have to do. Obviously, I won't be looking over your shoulder. I'm sure you can do this, but keep working at it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Case here is completed.
Appreciate it.
State of Ohio recalls Jacob Burchett, case numbers PRC 22-1262 A and B, PRC 2014-47 OBC, and PRC 21-1581 A and B. She's got the certificate.
Jacob Burchett.
Oh, I thought I heard a different name, so I was confused. I apologize. And we do have the certificate here. Can I come forward?
Yes.
He wants a copy from a photocopy. So, Your Honor, I guess this one was set for sentencing. It was my expectation we would just end up, I didn't know we were going to have a completion certificate here, but I discussed the matter with him. He's willing to go forward with me as a representative. I'm happy to do that for Mr. Smith if the court's comfortable.
Okay, Mr. Hill, what do you
Well, I think it is time for the sentencing, and if we may approach for a moment.
Yes. All right, Mr. Roger Smith is Mr. Burchett's attorney. He had a jury trial today, so he could not be here. So I'm uncomfortable proceeding. This case has been going on for quite a while. So I'd like to have Mr. Smith back here for this.
And Your Honor, if I may, I believe the other matter that I covered for Mr. Smith, we set for, I have my calendar, I have a text here, for the 13th. I would ask if we could, 13th of March, I would ask for the same date for this.
Okay. March 13th for sentencing on all three cases.
And Your Honor, I'll make a copy of this and present it to the court. So if you could wait on the copy, I'll send it back to you.
What's the next date?
March 13th.
State of Ohio versus Michael Singer. Recall, Michael Singer, case number CRB 22660.
Mr. Paul's case. We need Mr. Holt in the courtroom?
May I approach?
Yes. Okay. Court now says he is complete.
I guess that being the case, if they say he's completed, then he's completed. All we need is the payment of court costs.
You can pay today.
Case will be dismissed on payment of costs.
Thank you, Your Honor. You good? Yep, you're good. Congratulations. Thank you.
State of Ohio recalls Robert Pritchard, case number TRC 222784 A and B.
Richard?
Yes.
Mr. Pritchard is going to accept the state's offer. I don't know if we want to kick it out a certain amount of time to give him time to complete the school or not.
When is the next two schools?
March the 16th through the 16th through the 19th. Then we're not having any school, and then May the 11th through the 14th.
I didn't hear what she said. I'm sorry.
March 16th to,
19th.
Can we do that?
to come back after March 19th.
Okay. We'll do the 24th.
Yes. March 24th will be the next hearing. Pre-trial, 10 o'clock.
I'll let you back in the back there.
State of Ohio recalls Randall Steele, case number CRA 22511, CRV 22512, TRC 222203, CRV 222192.
We got one, two.
Okay, he has a good screen. Which makes me more amenable to going ahead and concluding this.
Right, Your Honor. And so I think, as Mr. Hield said, where this lands us is a second in 10 years, but a fourth lifetime. So in terms of mandatory minimums, that's what we're looking at mandatory minimum wise, but also obviously taking into consideration the greater history and his success in treatment.
Does the state have a recommendation?
The state, taking into account the other two priors, was mostly just as a way of letting Mr. Steele know that we were very serious about what we might recommend if he weren't successful. It still is a second in 10 years. However, he's been successful in treatment. We would not have an opposition if he were to do an actual 5 days in jail with a larger suspended sentence of maybe 30 days and then some monitoring.
The minimum is 5 and 18. 18 days of electronic home monitoring and 5 days jail. That's the minimum.
When would you do either of those? They'll give you a report date. So you wouldn't have to go today.
I would have to try to call for
Does the electronic home monitoring allow employment?
Yes.
Okay, so he is employed, he would need to coordinate the jail commitment with work.
How much time does it need?
How long do you need to find that out?
I have to at least put in 2 weeks to.
Well, I think what he's asking, if we got a date that was at least 3 weeks out, you'd be safe? Okay, if we could have a report date 3 weeks out, he would be safe to arrange that with work.
Does he want to go on a Friday so he maximizes the weekend?
If you go in on a Friday, you would only miss 3 days of work, versus if you went on a Monday where you miss the entire week, which would be better for you. Well, that's assuming it's a Monday through Friday job. I don't know what your days are.
Monday through Friday.
So would you rather go on a Friday or on a Monday?
And we've got a holiday. Some people don't get this as a holiday, some do, but that's President's Day.
Did you get President's Day off? Okay, so that doesn't make a difference then. A Friday, so 3 weeks out from Friday?
Yeah.
So 3 weeks from Friday, Your Honor, I guess would be, looking at my calendar,
It'd be March.
March 3rd.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm in the wrong month.
March 3rd would be 3 weeks from Friday.
Okay.
Would that day work for you? That give you time to get arrangements made? And if it's a 5-day sentence, so you get on Friday, it'd be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you need Monday through Wednesday off work. All right. Yeah, we would ask for that day for the report, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else you want to tell me, Mr. Steele, before I conclude the sentencing? Okay.
Which one are we gonna put it on?
Well, he's got an OBI, so it's going to go on there.
Well-
No, he didn't.
We got it well?
22,511.
Look at 2203. The monitor,
Oh, it was, so we're going to knock it down. 22,511 was filed as a felony, but we're going to treat it as a misdemeanor.
I think it was amended before the plea, obviously, because we could have done a plea on a felony in the court. So the state moved to amend, and we pled sometime back in the past.
Yeah, it's now pending as both a felony and a misdemeanor. So the felony is going to be dismissed. That's the 2203. And then 22,511. There's not a, what's throwing me off, there's not a TRC case number here, which is what
prosecutor.
an OBI should
Or with the probation officer, when to do that. You could work during the house arrest.
So we need to sign a new case number for a felony OBI is being amended to a misdemeanor OBI. Does it need a TRC case number?
oh, that's going to be.
So there's a felony and there's a TRC.
There was no TRC number because the OVI was charged as a felony and then reduced. I mean, I would think that would be analogous to when we have like an F5 possession and reduce it to a misdemeanor and just keep the same case number.
Well, I mean, there is a TRC that's numbered.
Oh, it's just not, it just doesn't have a,
03, and then there will.
it just doesn't have an OVI as a sub number. I got
We can
you.
use that one. I didn't see that. 2203.
Okay, so I'm sorry, so we're amending this one?
No, that's what he's pleading to.
Oh, it's Cleveland too?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's considered a second offense.
Second.
What time do we put on jail rewards? Is it 11?
Okay, I'll impose an $800 fine. This is a second. Court costs. Would be a year of license suspension. 30 days in jail, 25 suspended. So you get 5 actual days jail. 18 days of electronic home monitoring, 5 days, and he's going to report on March the 3rd for his jail. About 11 a.m. 18 days of electronic home monitoring.
Sorry? 18.
And you can go to work on that. They'll program you to go to work.
And he does live in West Virginia. I don't think that causes a problem with the monitoring under these circumstances, does it?
He has to have does he have to have one anymore or not?
I'm not sure.
You used to, but I don't know.
Oh, I thought it used to be okay,
I
but,
mean, you used to have to have a landline.
oh, I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yes.
Gotcha. I don't think you need to have one anymore. That's been a while since I've heard that you said.
Okay, his review hearing will be September 8th.
Then there's a vacation on
Fictitious registration.
actually, there's a big, and the child is,
$50 fine on fictitious registration. Child restraint that's the seatbelt, right?
I had a
safety,
thing for,
child safeties.
That's a mandatory $100
a
fine.
paper showing that I had, my fictitious place was gonna be, transferred over.
The 22/5/11 December.
Well, I could talk to the prosecutor about that. Your Honor, if I may, just a moment. He's indicating that he had paperwork, and I don't recall if we ever showed this, that the plates were from an older vehicle, and he had paperwork that they were being transferred, so.
And they didn't wanna, the officer wasn't even worried about it when I was trying to show it to him.
I have that in the car if I need to go get it.
We can nollie that one, Your Honor.
Okay, back up on the fictitious registration, they're willing to dismiss it, but. So you have to take the 50 out, or does that matter?
It's not letting me do an entry. What about the endangered child?
Let's see, he did.
And the Oscar.
We can nollie that one.
It's Nolly, 22/5/11, which was the felony DUIs of Nolly. There was a driving under suspension too, wasn't there? That was 22/21/92.
Right.
Got a different date.
Was that a different date?
I think so.
I'm sorry.
August 1st. Is that the same date? No, it's the same date.
Yeah, I think it was all one.
For some reason, it's in a separate file.
What was it?
Huh?
What was it?
It was whether it was a different date and was not a different date.
Here
was just, they filed it separately for some reason. I think they got to put 3 things on a ticket and ended up on the second ticket. He pled, I think he entered a guilty plea to that as well, Your Honor.
Okay, $50 fine on that.
With the review hearing the same day, Ron?
Yes, September 8th.
So if you don't have everything done that day, you're going to be back here and explain what you've gotten done and what you haven't yet.
Okay, I think that's everything.
I think that is, Your Honor. Thank
We
you.
need to see Mr. Mayor.
State of Ohio versus Darla Atkins at the Lawrence County Jail, case number CRB 2387.
Recording has started.
Ma'am, are you Darla Atkins?
No, I'm Amber Phillips.
Okay, right fire.
State of Ohio versus Amber Phillips, case number CRB 2388.
Okay, we've
Yeah, I got
got
one.
Amber Billups.
Yes, sir.
I'm Judge Capper of Lawrence County Municipal Court in Chesapeake. This is a arraignment hearing. So I'm going to go over your charges with you. Before I do that, I want to tell you about your rights. You have a right to remain silent. If you make statements, what you say is all on the record. It could be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney appointed if you can't afford one. You have a right to bail and to have the state make the state prove charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand those rights you have?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the charge for you is domestic violence. It alleges that on February the 6th, in Fayette Township, you knowingly caused or tried to cause physical harm to Darla Atkins, and that Darla is either a member of your family or lives in your household. So that's what makes it domestic violence. Maximum penalty is 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine. Do you understand this charge?
Yes, I do. Am I allowed to speak on it or not?
Well, it's not going to do any good right now because it's not the trial, so it'd just be better if you answered my questions. Do you
Yes,
have,
I understand.
do you have the money to hire a lawyer? Do you have a job? Okay, what plea do you want to enter to this charge?
It's not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you. Did they all skedaddle or we got anybody still around?
Mr. Steyer is here.
Mr. Steyer. Here's Mr. Steyer. I'm going to appoint him as your attorney, ma'am. Amber Billups, she has a domestic violence charge filed against her. First degree misdemeanor. And looks like it's her fiance's grandmother is the alleged victim.
No, that's not true. She's not no relation to us. It's my...
Ma'am, please don't speak any further.
And, Your Honor, that victim in this case is also a defendant too.
Okay, so it's cross-filing.
Just to be certain, that's not something I've been appointed to, or is it?
No, I haven't even
Okay.
appointed anybody else.
All right.
So, what's the state's position on bond?
We're not opposed to an OR bond. I guess we're going to need to figure out about protection orders. Since Ms. Billups is also a victim in the case involving Darla Atkins, I guess we'll want to know if she wants a protection order. And also whether they have any reason to be around each other.
Is the other defendant also incarcerated?
Yes.
Darla Atkins, yes.
So I don't know, normally if there were another attorney here that was going to be that person's attorney, I could discuss it with that person. what I would normally advise my client in a situation like this is that the protective orders can complicate matters, so if you can avoid problems without one, to say that you're okay not having one if the other person says so, but I can't have that conversation with the other attorney, and I obviously can't have that conversation with the other defendant, so.
Right.
I guess it should be up to her whether she wants a protective order, and there'll be, so.
Ms. Phillips, do you want Darla Atkins' order to stay away from you?
I mean, I'm scared of her and stuff, but I can go without one, I guess. I just,
Do you all live together or live separate?
no, we live together.
Oh, you do?
Me and my fiance is, and his son is, on land contract, and is buying it from her. We've been paying since November. We have all receipts and records and stuff, and.
Okay, well, I don't need to get in,
No,
I don't need
let's-
to get into that right now. I just need to know if you all are in the same
Well-
house.
Your Honor, if
We're in the same house.
Okay, ma'am. I think my answer to that, I'm not sure this is a reasonable answer, but what I'm going to say is that we would be agreeable to no protective order if she's so agreeable, but if there are going to be a protective order in one direction, we'd like there to be in both directions.
Okay.
And I would leave it to the court how
The
to.
question is, where are people going to live?
Well, if there's no protective order in place, they can go to where they're going, and if there is a protective order in place, I guess theoretically, neither one of them can go there. But what I don't want to do is have her agree to no protective order, and then also be banned from the home because the other person says, oh, I want a protective order, and goes and kicks her out of her house.
Okay, Ms. Phillips, so I'm not going to order that you stay away at this point, but that may change when I discuss this with Ms. Atkins. So I'm going to let you out on your signature, and then when do you want to come back to court?
Probably need to come back. Probably need to come back quickly due to the other issues that were raised. I'm here Friday if that's agreeable to the court. I'm here every court date we've got coming up until the 21st at least, so.
Well, let's make it the 13th, and I'm not sure if I can get another attorney here.
That's a good point.
I'm going to set your next hearing, ma'am. Do you know where the court is in Chesapeake?
Yes.
You got to be here on February 13th, which is a week from today, next Monday, 10 a.m.
Yeah, what's the amount of the OR on?
$1,000. So I'm letting you out on your signature. Mr. Steyer is going to be your attorney. Do you have a phone number where he can reach you?
Yes, 304. 942.
One second, please.
Hold on a second.
304-942.
Yes.
Go ahead.
7360.
And is this a cell phone?
Yes.
Can it accept text messages?
Yes.
I'll send you a text message. When you get out and get your phone, text me back, please, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, do you have any questions, Mr. Phillips?
No.
Okay, you'll be getting out this afternoon when we get the paperwork down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Darla Atkins, case number CRB 2387.
And this is the cross defendant now?
Yes.
Okay. Are there more arraignments after this? I'll stick around for that one if you need me, then, Your Honor.
It's a failure to appear.
Ma'am, are you Darla Atkins?
I'm Darla Atkins.
Ms. Atkins, I'm Judge Capper at Lawrence County Municipal Court in Chesapeake.
Yes, sir.
This is your arraignment hearing.
Yes, sir.
You have a domestic violence charge filed against you.
Yes, sir.
So I gotta go over your rights with you first. You have a right to remain silent. If you choose to make statements, they can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney. You have a right to have one appointed for you if you can't afford one. And you have a right to bond and to make the state prove any charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all those things?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with domestic violence that on February the 6th, which is today, in Fayette Township, you knowingly caused or tried to cause physical harm to Amber Billups, who either is a member of your family or household. The maximum penalty is 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the rights you have as a defendant?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this charge?
Not guilty.
Do you want a lawyer appointed to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a job?
No, sir.
Do you have any income?
Social Security.
I'll appoint Mr. Morford to represent you. And I'll set your next hearing for a week from today, February the 13th.
Yes, sir.
Do you want, Amber to be ordered to stay away from you, or she didn't want you ordered to stay away from her, but do you want her ordered to stay away from you?
As long as she stays away from me with her mouth, sir, I'll be fine.
Okay. Just don't talk to you.
I try not to.
Okay. So I won't issue a protection order. Now, you all may be, or I understand you all are living in the same household?
That's true, sir.
Can you all do that until we come back to court without getting in a fight again?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. All right.
I have a lot of doctor's appointments coming up.
Okay. Does she take you to the doctor?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
But you got somebody who will?
Oh, yes, sir, I do.
Okay, good. Okay, your next hearing is a week from today at the court in Chesapeake. You know where that is?
The court in Chesapeake, sir?
Yes, the municipal.
Yes, I do know where it is, sir.
Across from the drive-in, not the one down by the bridge. That's the mayor's court.
No, the flea market, across from the flea market?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yes, sir, I
It's
know.
very convenient, so you go to the flea market before or after court. Okay, so I'm letting you out on your signature, your promise to come to court. Mr. Morford's going to be your attorney. He should be here Monday.
Sir, can I ask you a question?
You may.
I have surgery for a colonoscopy scheduled for the morning of the 13th.
Well, what time?
I have to be there at 6 a.m.
Well, that's going to make it, I wish I would have done that. Let's make your hearing then, can't do the 17th.
I'm still here, Your Honor.
Let's make it for this Friday then. I'm going to make your hearing this Friday, the 10th.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And you can text this
What time will I have to be there, sir?
10 a.m. Ms. Phillips, you can let her know.
I will, thank you.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to change it to the 10th because she has a medical procedure on the 13th. So this Friday, you got to be at the court in Chesapeake. $1,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. You have a blessed day, sir.
You too.
State of Ohio versus Donald Waddle, case number TRD 221371.
Sir, are you Donald Waddle? I'm Judge Capper, Lawrence County Municipal Court. This is your arraignment. It's a driving under suspension. It looks like the reason you're, excuse me, I'm trying to get a cold. The reason you're in custody is it's alleged you failed to appear for arraignment June 13th of last summer on this charge. And a warrant was issued when you didn't show up. It's alleged that May 27th at 4:12 p.m. in Perry Township, you were driving with a suspended license. And that is an unclassified misdemeanor, maximum penalty 500 hours community service, $1,000 fine. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to it?
Guilty.
Do you have an explanation for not coming to court?
I just didn't have a ride. I ain't no excuse.
When did you get arrested?
Couple hours ago. So, Friday.
Okay. Well, that's what happens when you don't come to court. The officer said, I paced the vehicle at 64 miles an hour in a 55 zone, stopped the vehicle, driver was found to be suspended. Looks like it's out of Colbert Sheriff's Court, maybe. Okay, anything you want to tell me?
I'll be at work for the next work day if I have another one.
Okay. Well, I'll send you to a $100 fine, order you to pay the court costs, and do 2 days of community service. So you got 2 days of community service. Your review hearing September the 8th. So you've got till September to get this all done. If you get it done, you won't have to come back. Court.
I'll get it done as soon as possible.
Okay, get it done, and you can even work off your fine if you can't afford to pay it. You can work off.
Okay.
Any questions, sir?
Move on and release.
As soon as we get the paperwork down.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. That's it.
There's a third one in the courtroom that says that Jesse Bailey was in the Texas one. She's here to see what happens, but I don't have to.
Okay, does the jailer, do you have a Jesse Bentley? And
Yes, we do. He's right here, Your Honor.
oh, okay. We don't have any paperwork on him.
No, I don't have anything. What's it called?
Do you know what he's charged with?
Give me just a second, Your Honor. I'll look at the paperwork.
Thank you.
We haven't paid any more than a Jesse Bentley, it's the same one.
They didn't have him on our calendars this morning,
They're checking.
Looks like there's a warrant on a failure to appear.
It's the same defendant.
Your Honor.
Yes.
It says failure to appear on the pretrial for a warrant.
Okay, yeah, that's what, we've got that.
Take the file in the courtroom room.
Okay, Mr. Bentley, this is Judge Casper. We're retrieving your file now. It's case number 21-2464.
sure that's what Mr. Cooper told him, Your Honor.
State of Ohio versus Jesse Bentley, case number TRD 21-464 and TRC 183773.
Okay, let's look at 21-300 too. There's a note in the file, 21-300 it says also.
That was not like the grand jury, Your Honor.
Can you check on that to see if there was an indictment on that or what happened? There was a possession of heroin back in May.
Got two of them, it looks like. I was going to check on that. He's got a possession charge from October of '22 is when the indictment was. And the date of the offense on that was 9/5/21 and 5/8/22, two charges. And
so he's going to have a holder from Common Pleas.
Looks like it, yes.
Is the jailer listening in? Is there a jailer there? Confirm if he has a holder from Common Pleas.
The jailer. That was a warrant issued on December 7th, 22.
Can you confirm that he has a holder from Common Pleas also?
Yeah, did we just say, sir?
Yeah, he should have. Because my notes were back in, I believe it was August, we were going to let him go to treatment, and he left treatment sometime around the 1st of September. Yes.
Your Honor.
Yes.
He does get an indictment, 22 CR 360.
Okay. So it's kind of academic what we do here because he has a felony holder from the Common Police Court he'll have to address. So he's not going to get out regardless of what I do. But Mr. Morford is your attorney, Mr. Bentley. So he will continue to be your attorney. He's not here right now. He's already left the court. He was here earlier. So just, I don't know what the common pleas is gonna do with you, but I'll keep it as an OR bond, $5,000 OR bond in case they wanna let you out. I don't know that they will. But I'm not gonna hold you, I won't be the one to hold you. I'll let common pleas decide to hold you if they want. And I'll set your next hearing for February 13th, a week from today, in this court. So if you're still in jail, next Monday, you'll appear on teleconference here. You don't have to do anything. They'll bring you and put you in front of the camera. If you somehow get out of jail on a bond, you gotta be at the court in Chesapeake next Monday at 10 a.m. Then I would issue a warrant for you. Okay, and you've been indicted on a possession charge, got a common pleas. You're gonna get arraigned there at some point. I don't know, it could happen Wednesday or maybe later, but it'll be right across the street from where you are now. Okay, that's it. I think we're finished. Okay. We are finished at the jail. And finished here. Court's adjourned.